Determine the equation of a line where the distance from the origin to the line measured along a perpendicular is 2 units and the slope of this perpendicular is 5/12. Let us begin. First, we'll try to understand the problem graphically. So here we have considered the xy coordinate plane and we have a line L which intersects the positive direction of x-axis at the point A and the positive direction of y-axis at the point B. Now what we'll do, we're going to draw a perpendicular from the origin to the straight line such that it meets it at the point C. Now it is given here that this distance OC, let's note it down, it's given that the perpendicular distance OC that is equals to 2 units. And also the slope of this perpendicular line is 5/12. So slope M that is equals to 5/12. Now we know as per definition, slope is defined as the angle that the perpendicular line OC makes with the positive direction of x-axis, and let's call it alpha. So in other words, here it's given here that if we take tangent of that angle alpha, that is going to be the slope and that is equals to 5/12. Our goal will be to determine the equation of the straight line using these information. So what we'll do here, we are going to use the normal form of a line. The normal form of a line is given by x multiplied to cosine of the angle alpha plus y times sine of the angle alpha equals to p. So here alpha is the angle that the perpendicular line OC makes with the positive direction of x-axis and p is simply going to be the perpendicular length OC. So here OC equals to p. Okay, so let's use this value. Now what we'll need to find out cosine alpha and sine alpha. What we have here is tangent of alpha. Fine, that's a simple task. So what we'll do, we're going to consider, let's say, a right angled triangle. So here we have a right angled triangle. So let's say it is angled at alpha here. So here we have the opposite side, we have the adjacent side, and we have the hypotenuse. Now since the tangent function, tangent of that angle alpha, this is simply the ratio of the opposite to that of the adjacent side. So we have opposite to that of adjacent, that's given by 5:12, or in other words we can say here that the opposite is 5, the adjacent is 12, and the hypotenuse that's automatically going to become 13 by taking help of the Pythagoras theorem. So here we have a triangle with sides 5, 12 and 13. Now we can find out sine alpha and cosine alpha. So what is sine alpha? Sine of alpha, that is simply equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse means we have 5/13. And cosine of angle alpha, that is going to be equals to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we have 12/13. Okay, fine. So we have sine alpha and we have obtained cosine alpha. So we can substitute this back into our normal form to get the equation of the line. So now we will get, so now we have x times cosine of alpha. So cosine of alpha came out to be 12/13. Added to y times sine alpha, so that's 5/13. And this is simply going to be equals to the perpendicular length, which is given as 2 units. Let's multiply throughout with 13, so we get 12x added to 5y, and this is going to be equals to 13 times 2, so that's 26. So this is the required equation. This is going to be the required equation of the straight line. Now this is not the only equation of the line that is possible, because we could have another scenario. So let's talk about the other scenario as well. So here let's say we have another line L prime, and this line is such that it is perpendicular distance from the origin. So let's call it OC prime. So that's also 2 units. And this particular line L prime, this is also going to have, let's say, the same slope of 5/12, because we know parallel lines have equal slope. Then what will be the equation of this new line? That I'm leaving as an exercise for you to try out. The other form of other equation of the line is going to be 12x plus 5y equals to -26 is the other equation. That's going to be the other equation of the line. So in fact there are 2 lines that are possible which meets the criterion that the perpendicular distance from the origin is 2 units and the slope of the perpendicular is 5/12 units.